stupid hoe. You a stupid hoe. Yeah, we're live.
Oh my.
You've ever heard that song?
No.
You've never heard that song?
No.
It's a terrible, horrible song by Nicki Minaj.
I can't say is that I've ever heard that, Michael.
You've never heard You're
No.
a Stupid Hoe?
No, and I'm quite frankly shocked that you're singing it.
Well, there's sometimes when you're just like...
You've just had
You're
one
just
of those
not okay.
days and you're just like, are you mentally unstable, Michael?
You know,
Do you
it's
need
funny
some
that you
help,
mentioned
Michael?
that. I have been informed before by someone in authority that I may have concerned about my mental health.
I have a phone number for that. It's right there to your left.
To the left?
Yeah, I believe that it's it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week access.
Kiss my no, this
to the
is
Washington
actually
County
serious.
Mental Health
Oh, okay.
Services. Yeah,
I'm sorry. Well,
I'm just letting you know.
we can certainly give that.
Yeah.
I don't see it here, but
Yeah. Well, we don't have to give it right now. I'll make sure you have it though, just in
okay.
case you
I
need some
appreciate
support there, Michael.
I don't need support. Get rid of some people and I wouldn't have any problems. Anyway, how's everybody doing? Everybody doing well? I hope everyone's doing well. Drop a comment.
Fantastic.
You're doing fantastic?
Yes. Except I'm super tired.
You're super tired?
Yes. And I made pot roast for dinner because it's so cold and yucky and icky out. So I thought, well, that sounds good. But then I ate it and I just wanted to take a nap.
So I'm not going to lie. I looked at the pot roast picture that you posted and shouldn't do close-ups of pot roast.
Why? Because it has mushrooms in it.
It didn't look like from like when I first looked at it, I'm like, what the heck is that?
I thought it looked
and
good.
It didn't look all that appealing until I realized what it was.
Yes. Well, I said what it was. It
Well, I
has
know you did,
beef
but
and carrots and potatoes and onions and tomatoes and mushrooms.
Going through it, I didn't notice it.
It's just wonderful.
Anyway, so.
And homemade biscuits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't have any homemade biscuits.
It's good for you.
So tomorrow night, City Council. We don't actually, and just so folks know, tonight we're going to have probably a pretty short show.
Because there's not a whole lot going on.
Unless we can turn all this like small stuff into something big.
But that already gets done sometimes, I feel. And we don't need any more drama.
True.
That's for sure. Yeah.
It's not good for my mental health.
No, definitely not drama. For most. I see there are going to be some appointments, though, to volunteer committees, which is good.
It is. So one of the appointments is the Recreation and Parks Committee, which was originally part of the Cemetery Recreation and Parks Committee that I asked City Council to separate out. Because the fact is that people that are on the Cemetery Committee aren't necessarily wanting to be on the Recreation and vice versa.
Right.
So we separated that out, and now we're going to appoint Kat Allen, who is like super energetic and just a very based on the interactions that I've had, a very nice person. So she's applying for that. I think there's like a couple other positions that are available for only one other individual applied. And there's 4 seats. So two 2-year terms and 2 seats that are 1-year terms. So if anybody wants to join the committee, the Recreation Committee, certainly let the city know. There is an application online for that. So I highly recommend that you consider applying.
And then we have Development Review Board. There's an appointment there.
And do you know anybody on the Recreation?
Linda Kuchar, right?
She was. I'm going to go to...
Did she get done? I thought she was going to stay if you divided it.
I'm pretty sure she says that it says that she's the chair, and yep. And Brett is watching, and he's also on the recreation committee, along with Kelly Ross and Linda Kuchar.
Yeah.
I'm sure that Stephanie's going to be doing something, and thank you both Brett and Linda for being a volunteer for those committees, because it's really important to have volunteers. But yes, so the next one is Development Review Board, and Jamie Bauer, who I believe she works at ACCD. She works for the state somewhere. Because I saw her name when I was looking up some stuff. And so she's applying for the Development Review Board position, the at-large position. We still have the Ward 1 position open, and I think Jamie is in Ward 2. So we still have to appoint that Ward 1 position.
And then next, the Cow Pasture
Committee.
Yep.
And that's going to be Mark Martin. And the Cow Pasture Committee is, I'm just going to go and take a look at that, because I think there's a couple
seats available.
I believe there's a couple positions open for the Cow Pasture Committee as well. But apparently I can't. Oh, there it is. All right. So there's no other, actually. So I was completely wrong. There's no other positions open. That's actually a very popular committee with folks. They get involved. It's funny. I'm not going to lie. Didn't know about the Cow Pasture until I started doing city council.
Oh.
Lived here for
all these years, and you
didn't know anything about it.
You must have been a good boy in school. That's all I got to say about that. And then the last...
Whoa.
The last...
Wait a minute. No.
Well, because the kids used to raise a little hell up there in the cow pasture.
Really?
Years ago.
Not when I was a kid.
Well, I guess you just came from a different time with really well-behaved kids.
I guess so.
And then the last one, Transportation and Public Works. That's my favorite appointment, not going to lie.
Yeah, it is my favorite appointment as well. It's Steve McKenzie. He's going to be doing the transportation.
Does there even need to be a vote on that? Hello.
I
mean, come on.
Listen, wouldn't for me it would be an automatic appointment, but we still have to
there's
vote
a process. I understand, but it's Steve, for God's sakes.
There are several seats open for the Transportation Advisory Committee.
Right, and some other committees now. We know that the Planning Commission has an open seat, and I think a couple of others too. So I know that they'll be talking about that soon, because they're going to have to open it back up if we want to fill them.
Yeah.
Because the process actually closed last week on the 14th, but there's still vacancies.
Yeah. I am super excited about Steve. So for those that don't know, I've been harassing Steve about running for city council. But Claudia will not let him do that, unfortunately.
Well, you can't blame her. I mean, it's their time. It's their time. Yeah, you can't blame them. We're lucky to have them at all.
I sent him.
At least she didn't whisk them off away to some other state. And
this is true.
Say this
is true. I don't think they would ever leave Barre.
Yeah. So we're lucky.
We'll say the minute I saw the agenda with Steve on it, I texted him and I said, "Tell Claudia thank you."
Too funny. Yeah.
So those are the appointments, and then we're going to have a update from Green Mountain Transit Authority. So, full confession, Jamie came in and he kind of told, and I think I said this last week. Jesse,
right? Rosado.
Jesse came in. Yeah. Jesse Rosado came in and talked about the Green Mountain Transit Authority again, and how they're they're cutting back services again in Barre. And he had made a comment about a counselor saying that they were kind of lukewarm on the issue. And when he first came to me about it, I was the one that said that. And I sent him a text message and I apologized for it and told him that, I am sorry about that.
Well, that was when it all first started.
Correct.
Before you knew all of the information you know now.
Well, and I told him, I said, listen, I don't have the fire in the belly over this. This is something that you have it, and you've got to take this and run with it. And he has, and he's run to a wall multiple times because the Green Mountain Transit Authority just isn't doing anything about it.
Well, I'll tell you, for me, hearing from Turning Point Center was like the be all and end all for me. To hear that people can't get to services, that really pisses me off greatly, as you can imagine. And it scares me because really, truly, that's a life or death situation for some people. That may sound over dramatic to some, but it's not.
Yeah.
When an addict, most often, when they're receiving services, or say they've just come home from a treatment facility and they've been there for 2 weeks, and so they come home sober. If they do not get help within the first week, the chances of them going right back into the old habit is like 90-something%. It's crazy amount. It's super important that they have access and the ability to participate in those services. And to know that the bus no longer brings them there or even gets them to treatment court or CBSAS up in Berlin, all the places that it used to bring them, that's a little bit frightening.
Yeah. I really appreciate what Heather Slayton said, and if she's online, I just texted her and messaged her and said about that petition, because I'll say this.
I've sent them a letter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, folks, what's your thoughts on it, right? What do you guys think about this? And if you feel that this is not okay, that they're diverting, because it's my understanding that Chittenden County hasn't been affected as much as we have.
Right. And then some of the leaf peeper towns like Stowe, Waterbury type.
Right.
And they've actually got increases during times where we might be flooded with
completely appreciate
tourists.
The fact that, they are struggling to maintain staff. However, at the same time, they haven't been not Clark, Clayton Clark. He's been very nice, but I'll say that I personally, when we went to the board meeting, the city council just showed up at their board meeting. Didn't feel much love. Like, I felt no love. In fact, I don't think I've ever felt so annoyed, but like, and that sounds very self-righteous, but when a municipality's council like shows up at your board meeting, maybe
you should take notice.
Take note of this.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just like one person, or it wasn't like 2 or 3 people. It was the mayor, it was myself, Teddy, Michael. I mean, we had more than a quorum there. And take note, and don't be a touch
dismissive. Don't be dismissive.
And it sure felt that way. And maybe I'm reading into it, but it sure felt like that. And now that they've dropped back service even more is a real concern for me, especially when and I meant to, what I need to do is I need to find out how much money other communities dump into Green Mountain Transit Authority and look at the percentage because the majority of their money and their funding comes from the state of Vermont. But, you know, on a percentage base, I wonder when you compare like average income in our community versus Chittenden County, how much money they're giving versus what we're giving. And I understand that the small amount that we give isn't that much, but when you compare it to how much money we have, it might be more. I think of, you know, the story of the widow's mite, where she goes to the synagogue and she gives her one mite, and then the Pharisee comes in and drops a bunch of change, and Jesus says that the widow gave more money than the Pharisee did. And not that I'm calling Burlington Pharisees.
Right. It just, yeah.
Live in Barre because it's better. But yeah. So we gave them, I think it was $39,000 last year. I believe it was somewhere around there. It's not a lot of money.
See, I thought it was up in the 40s for some reason.
It might be, but I think it is 39,000. It definitely is not a lot of money, but when you factor in
what the state gives them, and that's just your kick-in.
We don't have a lot of money to give. Yeah, Rosemary says 38,000 ish. Right. So it's not a lot of money, but it's a lot of money for us, right? You know, that's my opinion. I mean, I think they're the highest paid one on the ballot.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we'll see. And if Heather gets back to me with that petition language, absolutely willing to go door to door to get that puppy signed.
Absolutely.
Because they need to bring the service back.
Yeah, they need to definitely figure it out. They've been pretty much making promises and slamming doors for a year now. Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
No, 100%. And every time we try to do something, nothing happens. So, yeah. So if you're out there, write GMT and say, bring back the bus service to Barre City. And all you have to do is drop a note. I mean, go on their page. I'm sure they've got to contact us now. Go on there, and if somebody has access to a computer and they want to drop that link for people to go to, and
especially now too, we have so many people that were left without cars because of the flood, and just want to go do their grocery shopping or go up to the hospital, and we do have a couple of cab services, but they're very expensive to take a cab.
And how hard would it be for, because how much does it cost to pay for a driver? Probably $50,000 annually, right? At minimum. How hard is it to say to folks, hey, take the cab and we'll pay the cab? Why not do that? And, it's not whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But
I agree. It's but we got to do something. So hopefully we can get it figured out.
Yeah, everything comes down to money, and it shouldn't. Perhaps we would be easier to hire a person to get where they need to go. Yeah. Well, that's what I said. I mean, just pay a cab company.
Right. And I know that right now,
which, by the
Capstone,
way, I suggested that, and they declined that suggestion.
Right.
Which, I mean, I have no right to ask them to do it, but I certainly would help the problem.
Capstone does have a service right now. They call it Gopher.
Yep.
But that alone is not going to take care of the problem, and Capstone can't start paying for all of this help and drivers and and lugging these people around either. So GMT just needs to get their shit together.
I would agree with that.
Plain and simple.
Then the next thing is the first reading and public hearing of the Planning Commission's recommendation for the accessory dwelling units and zoning revisions. So that was the mayor didn't like the outcome of the original vote and requested it to be rescinded. It was rescinded. I didn't particularly like the fact that we are like going back on our votes, so I voted no on that. I still think that it should be set up for, at least one parking spot in that ADU stuff. And
Right, there could be a compromise.
there could so let me just tell you, I live in a pretty close neighborhood, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we're not requiring a parking spot, because the way that the thing is written is that they don't require a parking spot. So someone, let's say myself, I could create an ADU at my house and say, we're not going to give you parking. I mean, I do have room for an additional parking spot, but I could say no. And then where are they going to park? So we get a corner there that you can't really park on. We got people that park up and down the side of the street already because we've got lots of people in our area with cars. And what could end up happening, which has happened, people will park like right in my backyard where I can't access the backyard where I put my trailer, which is really frustrating. It doesn't happen anymore because everybody knows that that's where I put my trailer and I need to get through. But this is one of the problems with that, why I think that we should have parking there, at least one parking spot. And if you don't have it, then go to DRB, but apparently that's not okay. Again, it is what it is. I will say that it'd be nice for us to have a conversation about housing where the standards are not as strict for things. And I know people will be, well, that's what the ADU is. But there's not a problem with the ADU language except for the parking. That being said, we do have a lot of stuff in place that prevents some out of the box thinking, so to speak. And I think I brought
tiny
it up
homes, things like that. Yeah.
Things like what Chris Pavick said on a post where I fully love the idea, purchase those $12,000 things from or barns,
the little sheds, from Home Depot
and then turn that into a house. And it can be done. It can be done really cheap and certainly would be affordable because people talk about affordable housing and affordable housing is not what they're really talking about usually when they say affordable housing.
Right.
My opinion.
No, I agree. I mean, it's not affordable housing in a lot of respects for a lot of people. And so if we're going to get more people into that situation,
no, not for a family.
We need to really consider other options. But a family could totally do one of the oh my gosh, the trailers, we were talking about them last week too. The storage things. Oh. No, the storage containers, shipping containers. I have actually seen a really cool it was like 2.5 bedrooms because there was a loft space for the teenage boy. But so basically a 3-bedroom home in a shipping container, and it was pretty cool. And it's in Maine, so it can certainly survive the elements, and it was pretty cool.
The only problem with the shipping
super modern looking
stuff, but that's I'm willing to bet you that shipping container was probably somewhere in the range of $60,000-$70,000.
No. So he was giving people tours of this place. That's why we went through it, and he was selling them. You had to pay to move them, but this particular one was $47,000.
So $47,000 to move it. It's probably another $5,000, and site work would be somewhere around $10,000 and then on top of that, the property,
Yeah.
you're pushing $100,000 with
Yeah.
that. And that is not, that's in the realm of not overly like affordable for some people.
Right. It is in the realm. But
It's
over a
better
30-year
than-
period, it's still way less than rent.
Yeah. True.
Way less than rent.
As long as you cover the rust on it.
Well, of course you do. It's the way it's built. There's all kinds of metal houses. Do you know how many houses around here had metal siding before they used vinyl siding, and they still have metal siding?
I do not.
I mean, it looked like vinyl siding, except it was smooth. And sure, you had to maintain it and paint it and stuff, but there's all kinds of metal sided houses. Yeah. Good gracious.
So the last thing on the agenda is appeal to council. The appeal to council of the 731 mayoral proclamation to request approval of the demolition of 561 North Main Street. So for folks that don't know where 561 North Main Street is, it's the house that was right next to Ernie's garage. So right next to the Budget Inn, it's not Budget Inn anymore, is it?
I think so.
Oh, is it?
I have no idea. It's in front of the police station.
Yeah, in front of there's a house there right off to the side. Dave Ayer wants to demolish the building. The mayor created a proclamation back in July saying that no buildings can be demolished because of the state of emergency.
Which I don't understand. Truthfully. I'm still so confused by all of that. Once they close the shelter, that means the emergency's over, correct?
We're in recovery mode right now. I will say that the proclamation states that it's like in effect until the zoning bylaws have been changed. The only problem is that you can't just like speak law into existence. So it'll be interesting to see what the city council does, because I think that if we're going to just like bypass everything and like trample on stuff, we should probably at least have the council consider it, not just one individual dictating it.
It's super confusing to me, though. It really, I'm being serious when I say that. I mean, I don't understand. And so individual cities can have a state of emergency too. It doesn't have to be called by the governor.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So the question
did the mayor say there was a state of emergency, implement that, or did the state?
We did have a state of emergency proclamation from the council. So Connie asked why. The housing structure is, let's see, absent structural engineer's report presented by Mr. Ayer, the city is not able to make the determination. The dwelling units cannot be made structurally suitable for rehabilitation for rehousing residential occupation. In order for Mr. Ayers to request to be granted, council must authorize the demolition. So he owns that, and it was used as a rental. So, but it's obviously not filled with anybody right now
and it hasn't been for quite some time, I believe.
I'm not sure about that. It doesn't necessarily say that. But oh wait, you know what? There is a letter in the packet, which let me go down there. And several storms made it impossible to maintain livable residence in this dwelling. So it's because of the damage. Foundation in the last storm sustained significant damage, and yeah, so
I'm sure there is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so interesting. I will be anxious to see how that turns out.
Yeah, we'll see. So other than that, there's not much left. And yeah, I guess I don't have anything else. Do you have anything you want to?
Well,
oh wait, no, we got to talk about the partnership, right? And this weekend, because it is.
Well, I was going to say the Heritage Festival is this weekend.
Yep, the Heritage Festival, and starts on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just give a rundown of what's on the docket for Wednesday.
I agree, Rosemary.
What did Rosemary say?
That Mr. Air has suffered enough.
Yeah.
I mean,
considering
my
he lost
God,
almost everything.
everything.
Yeah. Yep. So from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., the Granite Museum will be providing tours. So you should absolutely make it down there for a tour of the Granite Museum. 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., Lenny's Outlet Tent Sale. So that's going to be great. Barre Opera House tour from 10 a.m. to 10:45 a.m. Rock of Ages guided quarry tours from 10 a.m. to 4.
Super cool if you have never been.
Absolutely.
JD just went for the first time a few weeks ago under my advisement, and he had a blast. He couldn't believe it. He thought it was wonderful.
Do they have the choo-choo train?
It was raining, so they did not do the train, and I don't know if they do the train anymore. I did it when I was in school, in elementary school.
Same here.
It was pretty cool.
Went on the choo-choo train.
Yeah.
Pete Buttigieg would like the choo-choo train.
Yeah. Sure.
All right. So the other option, another thing that's going on from 11:30 a.m. to 5 p.m., and this is all Wednesday, just Wednesday. Visit Spa Gallery and Artist Studios. 2 p.m. to 2:45 p.m. is the Barre Opera House tour again. And then 3 p.m. To 6:30 p.m. is the Barry's Farmers Market, and that's in City Hall Park. And then from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m., meet the author, Rick Winston, the Aldrich Public Library. Do you know who that is?
I do not.
I don't know who Rick Winston is.
There's definitely all kinds of stuff going on, and if people want all of the days, you can find it on Aired Out or the Barre Partnership page, of course. Both of those Facebook pages have the full listing of all of the events. But a couple of events to highlight are Rock City, which will be happening Thursday night at the Elks, starting at 7:30. The tickets are by donation, and it's a concert, and so please join in the fun there. And then Thursday is Concert in the Park, as always. But right after Concert in the Park, Our House is showing the movie on the big screen, Matilda, in the park Thursday evening.
Which Matilda? Is it
There's
Matilda?
more than one Matilda.
Well,
I have
there was the
no
Netflix
idea,
special
Michael.
Matilda.
I'm gonna guess that probably it wasn't a Netflix special, but I don't know.
Not, considering I think it was like a series and it would be super long.
This is
it's the original one with Danny DeVito.
Yeah, I did see his picture on the little advertisement. So
he's like a little JD, except for
yeah,
a little smaller.
Yeah. Pretty close to just like JD
being smaller.
Yeah. But anyways, those are some super cool things, and I hope that people really come out and enjoy themselves. And Saturday, on top of all of the amazing festivities happening in downtown Barre through the Heritage Festival, there's also the annual Ladies Ride for Breast Cancer.
Ooh.
Which is their 10th and final year. And so hoping that it's their best year yet, considering it's going to be their final year of doing it.
And Brett says that Rick Winston was the guy that owned the Savoy, and according to 7 Days, it does look like that might be the case.
Nice.
But I'm not sure, and I don't want to guarantee that.
Well, if this guy's telling
But
you that,
here's the thing.
come on.
You know how you can figure out who he is. You can go to the event, which you should go.
Yes.
Then there's on Thursday. There's also Earthly Wonders, their grand opening.
Mm-hmm.
I think you said you wanted to go there. Have you been there yet?
No, I should probably go on Thursday. That's what I'll do.
should.
I'll go on Thursday.
Yep, and that's at 10 a.m. And then the Vermont History Center is doing tours from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then, of course, the Granite Museum, the Barre Opera House tours, the Lenny's Outlet, that's all there. Oh, look at that. Somebody dropped us a wonderful, we get spam mail
We did.
on our chat.
I'm not surprised.
I've
It's
never
constant
seen that, so
lately. It's so
We're gonna
annoying.
block this person.
It's so
Wow.
annoying. It's
I've
constant
never seen
lately.
that before. Isn't that
I
interesting?
cannot keep up. How many do you think we get a day in the messages?
Probably too many.
It's insane.
So then on Thursday evening, there's also Thursday evenings concerts in the park, like you said, 5:30 to 7 p.m. Allie Tarwater. That's who's going to be in the concerts in the park.
Mm-hmm.
Then
And then she's going to be over at the Elks as well, I believe.
That's very possible. I know Shane McGrath is going to be at Ladder One.
Mm-hmm.
Meet the author Stephen Clark at Next Chapter Bookstore.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, the movie night at the park, and then Rock City Flood Relief concert.
Mm-hmm.
And on Friday, we've got from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., the Aldrich Public Library annual book sale.
Mm-hmm.
The 84th, I can't read. By the way, if you want to read all this stuff, you'd want to go to the Barre Partnership, and I just dropped the link.
Mm-hmm.
Just take a look at the schedule there. You've got the annual Pelletiers Art Show. I'm not sure what that is.
I'm not sure either.
I feel really bad about that.
But I guess we're going to find out.
We will.
There's just tons of stuff going
There
on.
is.
Check it out. And this is long awaited, and we really need this. The community, I think, really needs this whole weekend, this whole almost week of events and things to do together. And it sounds like we're going to have some amazing weather.
We got the Barre Heritage Beer Festival tent.
Mm-hmm. And the Rotary Breakfast.
That's on Saturday or Friday as well. The Rotary Breakfast, that's on Saturday.
And the Rotary. I mean, my God, they really pulled it out with that art splash.
How
Over
much did-
$37,000. Absolutely amazing. Great job. Pretty cool.
There's a lot out there. You guys absolutely should go to the Barre Partnership's Facebook page and take a look. And yeah, I mean, and there's the annual Ladies Ride for Breast Cancer. And of course, there will be vendors on the sidewalk.
Mm-hmm. And a great parade.
Inflatable fun. Do you know what that is? Oh, that must be like the children's section there.
Right.
Wildlife encounters from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the Depot Square.
Yeah, they did that last year. Lily loved it.
Hey, look, this person did it again. How do I block this? What's going on here, folks?
I don't know.
Where
is it on?
Punish this person?
Hold on, I'll do it.
We should go
Where is it?
I don't
on
know.
The fan page?
I don't know. I blocked them again.
Okay.
But anyway, I think that's about it. I think make sure you go take a look at that. There's chalk drawing. There's all sorts of wonderful things on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna, yep. And Rosemary just posted that chalk art event at Matheson Playground at 11 a.m. on Saturday.
Super cool.
There's gonna be a comedy hypnosis street show.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
That sounds fun.
That does sound like fun. What nefarious things could I get into with that?
Do you know what else is coming up? And
What?
and I'm gonna put you on the spot right here, right
Uh-oh.
now. The trunk or treat at Preston's Kia. And I think that Barry Beach should have a decorated Jeep and do balloon animals for the kids. Because last year you had a great time, remember? You knew all the damn costumes and the kids loved you. How can you not go?
Well, I mean, come on. Let's be honest. I mean, they were wearing costumes like Elsa. Okay, I know who Elsa is.
No, you knew who all of them won.
Let it go.
You knew who
Do you know
all
why?
of them were. Like all of them.
I watch way too much stuff.
Yeah.
Like tonight.
I was blown away at some of the. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? And you were like, yeah, you know from this. And I'm like, no, I do not know. But you knew them all. And the kids loved that you knew them all.
I'm trying to think of one that I knew that you didn't know.
And they were so happy to talk to you.
It was all
No,
Disney stuff.
no, there was a few that weren't. And even if it was, it's not like I watch that anymore. I don't have little kids. I have dogs that don't watch
Some of the
Disney.
stuff that they put out by Disney is actually good. It's just woke crap that drives me nuts on their stuff.
But anyways, it would be super cool if Barry Beat had a decorated Jeep right next to the aired out car, and the guy in the Jeep was making balloon animals for the kids. I'm just saying.
Barry Beat will be there.
Yeah. October 27th.
We can do that.
Preston's
Is that a Saturday?
Kia. No, it's a Friday.
It's a Friday?
Yes.
Send me a reminder so I can put it in my calendar.
I'll send you a reminder.
We can do that. And then there's the American Legion Front Yard Barbecue. That's on 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
All right. I'm going to get rid of this bastard.
I appreciate that because he's starting to make me very angry.
Well, he's just...
Green Mountain Chorus. There's just so much. You absolutely got to go and take a look to really get an idea of what's going on. There's just so much in there. Native Tongue will be sending everybody off from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. at City Hall Park. And then I assume fireworks. Yep, at 9:15. So, yeah. Definitely go. And I see a lot of movies. That's the reason why I know. You know what I watched today?
What? After work, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cocaine Bear.
Oh, JD went and saw that. He said it was quite crazy. It was funny.
It was wicked funny. It is based on a true story.
He said it was a little bit like off the hook crazy.
Yeah, it was definitely off the hook crazy. It was, in the true story, the bear just died of a cocaine overdose. In this one, the bear goes on like a Cujo rampage. It's pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty awesome and it's funny. If you have a dark sense of humor, you absolutely should watch Cocaine Bear. I mean, just seeing the bear like going like this as the cocaine's falling down.
Oh my gosh. I don't know about that, Michael.
It was hilarious. Oh my goodness. Anyway.
Okay.
Well,
interesting.
Anyway, so we'll move on. And you have nothing else? Do you have anything?
I don't think so. I mean, I just wanted to make sure that you knew about the trick or treating because it's like super important that you do that.
And they're a sponsor, right?
Yes, yes. Preston's is a sponsor of ours. One of the great sponsors. We have so many. And we have a couple of new ones that I'm going to be announcing soon. I'm excited. I got them.
Do we get a special preview on the Barry Beat?
Sure, why not?
No, I won't make you do that.
Are you sure? Because I can.
I mean, if you want to, I'm not going to stop you.
We're going to be welcoming Jerry's Sports Tavern.
Nice.
The Roothiers have signed on with us for that, and they also do their auto dealership, Roothiers Quick Lube, and Auto
gotta go up
Center,
there again.
which is wonderful, and then Delicate Decadence. Tim has signed on as a sponsor of the Air It Out podcast because he has a lot of stuff going on there. Catering.
He's
and
a busy man.
Yeah, and they do breakfast now.
Yep.
Every day, and everybody is always wanting to know, where can we get breakfast? Well, Delicate Decadence.
I like going down there. I bring Leah with me,
Mm-hmm.
And we just sit down there. And usually Tim comes over. I chat with him a little while. Tim's a good. I consider Tim a good friend.
I like to go down there too, but it's a problem because I like the chocolate chip cookies.
Oh,
They're
so
like to freaking die for.
Both of us have a problem.
They should be illegal. Yeah.
Both of us have a problem.
They
with
should
diabetes.
be illegal. I eat one of them, and I have to use 4 units of insulin as soon as I get home. Not kidding.
Ooh.
But oh my God, are they good?
So I'm not the cookies aren't that exciting to me. Yeah,
Oh, they're the best you ever had, though. Have you ever tried one of his chocolate chip
I-
cookies?
they're fine. What I really like is his bagels.
I haven't tried those, but I've heard that they're
good.
wonderful.
And anything with peanut butter. What I've been trying to convince him to do is make a British treat for me, but he hasn't done
Which
it
is
yet.
what? Are you going to tell us what it's called?
No, I'm not going to say it.
All right.
and carrot cake. That is correct.
Oh
His
yeah, carrot cake
very good.
is absolutely amazing, super good. Yeah,
There is a British treat or cake that's special. It's got a funny name. You can Google it. Spotted. Anyway, with that, guys, have a lovely evening.
yes. Have a great
And
evening.
We shall see you next week, and thank you for tuning in.